Hello, hello. Today we are cooking 20 meals in just 1 hour. On the menu for today, we've got 2 options for breakfast, a sweet and a savoury. We've got 2 options for both lunch or dinner. I think you can really mix it up for either of them. We're going to make 1 sweet treat snack, of course, and you'll get almost 100 grams of protein if you had this for breakfast, lunch and dinner. If you had the egg breakfast burrito option, or if you did the overnight oats for breakfast, you'd be almost at 80 grams of protein for the day, both of which I think are pretty great. And finally, all of the meals are gluten and dairy free and are adjustable to be vegan if you need them to be, but I'll talk through all of the adjustments that you can make to tweak each of the meals to your preferences as we go.
Hey guys, welcome back. Happy Sunday. You already know that optimizing my health or optimizing being healthy is one of my big goals for 2025. I basically want to make it as easy as possible to be as healthy as possible, and I've mentioned meal prepping a few times. Anyway, we're finally doing it. And I was thinking about what is the main reason that I haven't done it before, or I can honestly say I've never really meal prepped before properly, but why have I never done it before? Why have I always been so reluctant to do it? And I think the answer is, I think it makes the most sense logistically to meal prep on a Sunday, and I don't want to spend my whole Sunday in the kitchen. So this might be a tall ask. In fact, I know it's a tall ask, but we're going to do our best. I'm going to set a timer for 1 hour. We are going to put 60 minutes on the clock, and we are going to try and make 20 meals plus snacks in 60 minutes. 20 meals being 20 portions of food, not 20 different meals. That would be truly insane. But we're gonna make 20 portions of food, which is basically breakfast, lunch, and dinner for Cameron and I for the week, plus some sweet treat snacks, because I have to have those sprinkled in throughout the week as well, in 60 minutes. So I'm gonna make myself my Sunday morning cup of tea, get some drinks, and I already think if we manage to do it all in an hour, I'm gonna do this every week. I think that's the main thing. If we can do it all in an hour, 20 meals in an hour. Anyway, let's see how we go. I'm gonna make myself a cup of tea, I'm gonna get myself a drink, and I wanted to tell you about one extra thing before we start, and then we're gonna get going. Got my cup of tea. You guys know every single morning of mine has to start with a cup of tea, and now every morning is also starting with me drinking my AG1. AG1 is one of those iconic products that I'm sure you've heard of, and I have to say I feel very lucky to say that they are very kindly sponsoring today's video. If you haven't heard of AG1, it's a daily health drink with over 70 vitamins, minerals, and other ingredients such as antioxidants, gut-friendly bacteria. Honestly, the list goes on and on. You just put 1 scoop in some water every single morning, and that 1 scoop supports your energy, your digestive regularity, your immune defense, literally all the good things that are gonna set me up for having such a good year this year. You guys know that I've been on a bit of a health kick in 2025, and I'm really trying to find easy ways to make being healthy just not feel that complicated. And AG1 is ticking a lot of boxes for me. I think the supplement market can get really overwhelming, and you can end up spending a lot of money on a lot of different products, taking all kinds of different things every day, not really knowing what does what. And to be able to know that it's all in 1 drink, you can just have 1 scoop in the morning and that's it. You've kind of ticked off something really big and beneficial that you've done for your body every single day. Is such an easy win. But I have to say, whilst obviously the ease of it is such a great thing, for me, the biggest benefit, like the biggest draw to AG1 is the quality of the product. There's a few things about this that just make you know you're getting the right stuff. So 2 of my key areas this year are focus and energy and heart health. So for focus and energy, AG1 contains ingredients like copper, chromium, and phosphorus, which actually help unlock the energy in your food. So it means when you're putting the effort in to eat healthy, like today we're going to be meal prepping all of these hopefully healthy, nutritious meals, AG1 helps actually unlock the value and the nutrients in my meals to make sure my body is getting what it needs from my food. Heart health is also a really big one for me. I want to improve my cardiac ability. It's also an important one for me genetically. AG1 contains thiamine and B vitamins, both which contribute to the formation and the maintenance of your red blood cells, helping your heart health. Anyway, honestly, I could go on and on, but the final thing that I want to say that really to me highlights the quality of the product is that commitment to continuous improvement. As science advances, so does AG1. And it's actually already gone through 53 iterations, and they're fully committed to continuing to iterate the product and make it better and better. So it means that when you're taking it, you know that you're not taking something that was developed years ago and has stayed stationary. You're constantly getting the latest and greatest to get the very best supplement possible, which is just a value and a principle I really respect and helps me feel very confident in taking it every single day. So if you also want to give AG1 a try, then make sure you click my link, because because if you use my link, you'll also get 5 free travel packs. These are brilliant because they're the equivalent of 1 scoop and you can just pop them in your bag and take them with you when you go away. And you'll also get a free bottle of vitamin D and K2, especially important for us to be taking vitamin D during the winter. Thank you so much to AG1 for sponsoring this part of the video. Like I said, to be working with such an iconic and quality focused product feels very, very special. Right, let's get cooking. We're gonna put an hour on the clock. Let's get my phone. Here we go, here we go, here we go. We're doing an hour based on the fact that I've already got all the ingredients out. I'm gonna get all of my storage containers out in just a second. Right, here we go, we're gonna start the timer. 20 meals plus snacks. Let's do it.
Okay, so we are starting with the sweet treat snack. I got this done first because I actually saw a tip that when you meal prep, get something done that's easy and quick straight away, so you feel like you're being productive straight off the bat, and it kind of motivates you to keep going through the longer meals. So that's what I did. These are honestly so good. There's really no recipe. A dollop of peanut butter on slices of banana the size that you want them, drizzled with a little bit of dark chocolate over the top. I use 70% dark chocolate because, I mean, I guess there's more antioxidants in there, but chocolate's chocolate, it's just delicious. And then I sprinkled these with a little bit of sea salt once all the chocolate got on, but honestly I can't tell you how good these taste. The banana turns into like creamy ice cream in its own right when it's frozen. You have to give them a try. Next, we move on to the things that are going to take the longest time to cook, and I knew that I wanted to roast a big batch of potatoes to go with the salmon, so I started to peel these. You really don't have to peel these, to be honest. This was really me baking in extra time, that if I needed to do things in even more of a rush than I was doing in my 1 hour, I just wouldn't have peeled them, I just would have given them a wash. But there's something so good about peeled, crispy, fluffy potatoes. I then moved on to the vegetable prep for the chili con carne, because again, I wanted the chili con carne to sit for the longest amount of time, to really simmer and reduce down, and for everything to soak up all of the flavors. So got all of my onions chopped and my other vegetables all diced.
Oh my god, I hate cutting onions. They make me cry so much. Wow.
This is where meal prep really comes into its own. It is 500 hours of chopping later and we are still chopping. This is the stuff that is so good to not have to do during the week. So for me, it was onions, carrots, garlic, celery. I even chopped up some red peppers, but I saved you from having to watch that as well. And then finally, all the chopping was finished. And then the beans. Thank goodness for beans just being in a can, and they are so easy just to strain, rinse, and pour straight in.
Okay, so this is going to be tight. We've got about 25 minutes left. We're over halfway through. Oh, I really want to do it in under an hour. The chili is now on and it's just going to bubble away for the next like 20 minutes. I just think in general, the longer that it can sit for, the better. But I don't need to like leave it for hours because there isn't meat in it. So it's not like meat is soaking it up in the way that if I was doing like a meat one, I'd probably want to leave it longer. But I think it works for this just because it's so quick and it's filled with so much good stuff. Anyway, that's now done. And now I want to get onto the breakfast bits. And then I need to assemble the salmon, which we're going to do in a second. Right, I don't have time to talk to you. This is all I will say so far is I'm already impressed with how much I've been able to do very quickly, like even just making like an entire batch of chili con carne, which was like done now, and putting like the snacks in the freezer, which took, I mean, the whole thing took half an hour to do all that, including all like the chopping and everything. So I'm already impressed, but it is quite like intense, I think. Anyway, we'll feedback later. For now, let's keep going. Yeah, this is where we're at. Okay, time to keep going.
Onto the salmon. Salmon is an omega-3 powerhouse. It's just so great. But you could also easily switch this for chicken or tofu depending on your preferences. I think the easiest way to cook salmon is just to bake it, and this Dijon spread is so good. It's tangy and creamy and keeps the salmon moist while you bake it, which is an added bonus. You honestly don't need to cover it with foil or anything. All you need is Dijon, lemon juice, parsley, garlic, and olive oil. I pop my salmon in the air fryer for 10 minutes, or you can put them in the oven for 15 minutes. This is slightly undercooking it, but of course it will cook further when you reheat it later in the week. Okay, on to the savory breakfast option, the egg burrito. The beauty of these is they are so high in protein and you can honestly just put anything in them. You start by whisking up some eggs and then you put in whatever you want. I have added in some chopped cooked veggie sausages. You can obviously put real sausages in there if you need to. A few sliced cherry tomatoes. I also love putting sun-dried tomatoes in here, but I didn't have any today. Some crumbled up feta, some spring onions, and then a few chili flakes, salt and pepper to season it however you like, and then again pop it in the air fryer or in the oven. All of these recipes are very basic, as I'm sure you can tell, but I have popped the timings and the ingredients that I use for each of these in the description box, so go check that out if you want to know the specifics. Okay, and then on to the final thing, and maybe my favorite thing, overnight oats. They are so simple but so good. To me, I think like 50 grams of oats is the perfect portion for one. So here I have got 100 grams of oats in each container. So each container basically contains 2 portions. My favorite component of overnight oats is oats, chia seeds, Greek yogurt, a sprinkling of cinnamon, and then in an ideal world, I would have put some grated apple in here as well to make it kind of a bircher style. I didn't have any today, so I will be topping it with grated apple when I put it all together later in the week. But an extra time-saving step would just be to grate some apples straight in there. If you've never tried it, go for it. It's so delicious. And then I just pop them in the fridge. The easiest one to prepare out of all of them. And then just like that, everything was officially cooked. So once the eggs came out, it was then time to start assembling the breakfast burritos. And all I'll say on this is that this was harder than I thought it would be. Just like that, we're all done. I think we are 10 minutes over, which does make sense. I actually think I genuinely could have done it all in an hour, which is kind of mind-blowing. The thing that messed me up time-wise was trying to wrap like the breakfast burrito things. I'm just not very good at wrapping those. You know when you go to like tortilla or like Chipotle or wherever and they just like pile it high and they still manage to wrap it up. I was like, all I have is one little egg omelette-y thing and I just want to wrap it in. And anyway, so that was a bit more of a struggle. So these are like not the neatest things, but I managed to get them all done satisfactorily in the end. But I think if I did a different type of breakfast that didn't involve the wrapping, I honestly think I could have done it all in an hour, which is crazy. So for the next couple of weeks, I've done the chili in like a big vat. I do also have sandwich bags, which I think are a really great way to store sauces in the freezer, because then you can get out individual portions. But for this week, I just know it's gonna be a really busy week. So I'm gonna have in here is 4 portions worth. So that can either be for lunch or for dinner. So I'm gonna put one of these in the freezer and then one of these like in the fridge for this week. And then I've obviously got the salmon and potatoes. There's no veg with this yet. I really don't need something with the chili, like there's no rice. I don't feel the need to meal prep like the entire meal. I know you can do that where you've literally got every single element finished. I really don't mind needing to like put some rice on or boil some broccoli. It's just like all the chopping and all the prep that I want to be able to skip, which I feel like I've done. I also think that these little frozen banana things look so good. I think I'm gonna have to eat one of these this afternoon with a cup of tea. Like not gobbling this right now feels like torture, but I've made something similar to this before and the banana goes kind of like ice cream because it's so soft and frozen and creamy. And then I like to use dark chocolate with sea salt, so it's all like salty and not too like overly sweet. The sweetness comes from the banana, but these are so much fun when you just want like a sweet treat in the week. So the trick is going to be having one of those a day. How many did I make? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 of those. So the trick is having one a day, not all 8 this afternoon.
afternoon and then none of them make it into the week. Right, I'm gonna go finish clearing up. I have to be honest, I did quite a lot of clearing up as I went. Make sure you've got an empty dishwasher before you start, which I did. It just meant that I could just fill up the dishwasher as we go. I've got the chili pot that I need to wash up, but otherwise, this is changing the game. I am so pleased with this. Hopefully there were some recipes in there that could give you a bit of inspo. The rest of this week, when I actually plate up these meals, I'll make sure to insert some clips of me actually eating them so you can see them once they're like a complete meal and not just parts of the meal. But yeah, I'm converted. Right, time to get all cleared up. Get everything in the fridge and the freezer, and I can just go and enjoy the rest of my Sunday. I'm going out with, I'm not wearing a watch today. I'm going out with friends in a couple of hours, and I just feel like I've got all of this done in the morning on a Sunday. Amazing. Oh, life changed. Right, I will see you later in the week.
These were as perfect as I expected them to be. When you just want a little cup of tea in the afternoon and a sweet treat, it's like having a little ice cream bite. I should have tripled the batch. Next week, I am tripling the batch. Okay, my favourite sweet breakfast, without question, the combination of almond butter, summer fruits, and grated apple. It just hits so hard. Gail's have basically this exact overnight oats, and the fact that I've now mastered it myself at home with like the creaminess of the oats with the cinnamon, oh, just such a money saver. And now we're on to the breakfast burrito. I heat mine up in the air fryer. You can also heat yours up in the oven. These turned out so much better than I thought they would. A little bit of avocado, some sriracha, which I think is the perfect condiment to go with these. So good. Then onto the salmon for dinner. We paired our salmon and potatoes with some steamed broccoli, some roasted crispy kale, and a little dollop of creme fraiche to add a bit of extra creaminess for dipping the potatoes into. And finally, the veggie chili. This turned out so good. Everybody tops theirs differently. For me, it's a bit of coriander, creme fraiche or sour cream, avocado, sometimes grate a bit of cheese on there. Wasn't really necessary this time. So delicious. And that is officially it. 20 meals in just over an hour. We almost did it. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have the loveliest week, and I cannot wait to see you in the next one. Bye guys.